Buying a home? Don't panic. Just listen to the rest of this podcast. Welcome to my podcast, everybody. My name is John LaForme. I'm a certified home inspector and the owner of Home Inspection Authority. My podcast allows me to share my day-to-day home inspection experiences and knowledge to help home buyers, homeowners, realtors, and other home inspectors set realistic expectations with each other during the home buying process. One thing I see as an inspector on roofs is, how they're mounted. Is there a lot of callbacks on roof leaks when you installs?
So for
the mounts?
Yeah. So this last year,
the rain we got?
Yeah. What are we on? We're in June of 2023, right?
Yep.
In Southern California. So this last rainstorm starting in January, really, right? New Year's, January, February, was huge rainstorms. We hadn't had a rainstorm since I say December, winter of 2018, 2019. And I remember this because the exact same thing happened to me back then. I was blown up with phone calls from homeowners saying, can you come out? My solar system is leaking into my house. I have a huge leak. We think it's the solar system. It's on that side of the roof. One way or another, they think it's the solar system. And 9 times out of 10, they're right. And so what happens is these installers, good or bad, mostly cheap labor, subcontract that out, sub of a sub of a sub, right? You have these national companies.
Yeah, it's like getting cable installed in your house. You don't know what guy's going to show up.
You don't know if it's going to be DirecTV actually or a local guy in a minivan with a DirecTV
with a rap sheet
with the magnet. Yeah, exactly. So you get that, right? Even like Sunrun is a huge company. A lot of people will see them at Costco and Home Depot. And they don't install their own solar. They have building partners. Okay, you know what that means.
I do.
So those guys, those building partners,
you're talking to Peter, but Paul's putting it in.
And then they pay their employee dog shit. And so he doesn't care. He has no vested interest in your home. He's never going to see you ever again.
He's got a big bucket of roof patch with him.
If that. So what they do is they don't know how to install the solar because solar is we have a labor shortage right now. It's very hard to find good people. And
that's been going on for years, by the way.
Yeah, and that's true. And
ever since I was 20.
And so because of that, they start hiring these lower quality guys that don't care. They don't have no pride in their work. They aren't getting paid enough, whatever the reason. But because we're in California, you're not going to find that leak until we have a huge storm like we did this year. Yeah. So you may have gotten your solar system installed in 2020, and you had no problems up until January of 2023. And so I got a lot of calls, and the last time I got that call was a big rainstorm in winter of 2018, 2019. Same thing. So it's in waves, and this year, I saw the news. We're officially in El Nino weather patterns. So we're going to have a hot summer. A lot of homeowners are going to have solar put in.
And they're all going to leak when it starts raining.
And then it's going to leak it's going to leak. And so,
you're losing me again on the solar right now. You're losing me.
Well, with anything, it's all in the workmanship, right? It's all in the workmanship. Yep. So as far as a home inspector, and if you're buying the house, if you don't know what you're looking at, there's really no way to know if it's done right. Because there's
we're looking for staining in the attic. The sheathing. That's what we're looking for.
Yes. So that's a telltale sign, right? So if you go
that's in any attic. With or without solar, we're looking for stains. So if it happens to be underneath there.
That's right. So for all my home inspectors, treat it like a normal flashing and vent system.
Sure.
You have plumbing vents and you need them flashed. If the water doesn't, just visually looking at a flashing over a vent or anything, a chimney, if you think the water's going to get in the roof, it's probably going to get in the roof. It's a gaping hole or whatever. Same thing with solar. Yeah. If you don't see the way the water can run off of that penetration, it's most likely not.
Sure.
And so a lot of times, they have those aluminum or stainless steel flashings on the roof.
Yep.
And so you generally only see those bottom left and right corners of that flashing because the top right corners are tucked underneath
Well, if you go with me to work, you'll see the opposite of that.
Okay.
But anyway,
So it
I know
should
what
be
you mean.
tucked underneath, right? And if you don't see it tucked underneath and you see the flashing on top of the roof structure and that little corner of that flashing sticking out, it's going to leak.
Sure. High wind will blow water right under it.
Wind-driven rain.
Yes.
For sure.
Absolutely. Talking about wind-driven rain, one time I went to Cancun.
Yeah.
And it was rain season.
Yeah.
And I didn't know.
Would you go in November?
I wasn't paying attention. I can't remember. It was years ago, but I do remember this. It was sunny when I got there.
Mm-hmm.
2 hours later, I'm in the room, walk out on my balcony, and the rain was coming in sideways. Hit me in the face. I'm like, what the fuck?
I had a friend that had a wedding in Cancun. Yeah, Cancun. And it was hurricane season or something like that. They had to postpone it because the resort was just destroyed by the wind. Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah,
it happens. It's a nice place. Yeah, it's expensive. Yeah.
Oh, it's a great place to be if the weather's good.
Yeah,
absolutely.
I just came back from Punta Cana in Dominican Republic. You ever been?
No.
Really nice to go. Yeah, nice place.
Okay.
Humid, but nice.
Humid?
Humid, yeah.
Yeah, like the East Coast.
Yeah. Gross.
So here's okay, so we talked about that. Let me ask you about storage banks.
Battery systems.
Battery systems.
Energizer bunnies.
Energizer bunnies. Now this, to me, brings me back into the solar positive.
Okay.
Because to me, that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay. See, let me tell you a little bit about me real quick.
Yeah.
Okay. I am the kind of person who doesn't depend on anybody for anything. I don't depend on my city to make sure my lights are on.
Okay.
I know that that's part of it, but I'm not going to get pissed off if the power goes out. I know there's probably an issue somewhere, and I'm not going to lose my mind screaming at someone who can't fix it. I have my own generators in the garage. Okay. I have ways to be sustainable in my own house.
So the convenience is off, but I'm responsible for my own.
Yeah, I got a family to look after. I got to make sure
what kind of generator do you
running. I just have a Ryobi 1800 running watt gas generator, and I also have a Goal Zero, a Yeti 3000.
How do you plug it into your main panel? Do you have like a transfer switch?
No. This is just not. It's not plugged in.
Oh, so you just run extension cords.
Put gas in it. I got the extension cords. If I need it, it's there. So I think any homeowner should kind of think that way and have these things ready in the event there's a problem.
If you need your Wi-Fi, have a generator running.
You know how if my wife loses Wi-Fi, it's over.
Yeah. I think that's with most houses now.
She's like running around with a knife if there's no Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I mean,
internet.
Well, nowadays everyone works from home. I mean, a lot of people work from home.
Yes, that's another reason why people should have their own way of keeping some energy.
You have a Goal Zero. You have the Ryobi generator.
Yes, I have an electric power bank. That's always charged.
Yep.
And I have the gas version. I have two ways of keeping lights on and maybe keeping my refrigerator going during a blackout or something.
So you're talking about standby backup, right? In the event of a power outage, which is totally possible, especially for those homeowners that live in the Southern California Edison. You live in a municipal jurisdiction, right?
Burbank Water and Power.
Burbank Water and Power.
Yeah.
Los Angeles Water and Power. Those two, Glendale Water and Power, rarely go out. It happens, but it's rare.
Sure.
Relative or compared to Southern California Edison, which takes a huge swath of LA County, Southern California. You have Southern California Edison. For those homeowners in San Diego, you have San Diego Gas and Electric. And then for those other homeowners in the north area, you have Pacific Gas and Electric. Those are the huge companies that take a majority of the state.
Right.
We all remember Paradise fire, right? That whole town got burned up. Right. We've had all these fires in California. It's going to keep happening.
Sure.
And as these communities got destroyed, they sued the utility company because it was the utility company's fault for not properly maintaining their power lines, right?
Too close to dry brush and stuff like that.
Dude, yeah, these hooks that hold the power lines are just worn down. If they're supposed to be 2 inches, they're a quarter inch now.
Oh, shit.
And so when the wind slaps these wires around, it just breaks the hook. And then it sparks on the ground, and they're just burning. They don't
have a safety wire connecting those things together.
Nothing, man.
Oh man,
it's just straight. Just
I thought they always had to have like a separate clamp here with a cable.
Yeah, well, they come down, right?
Wow.
So now they're investing heavy in drones and maintenance because those communities have sued the utility company.
Sure.
Rightly so, right? If it was you or me, we'd be pissed, right? We got to sue somebody.
Got to sue somebody.
Someone's got to pay for it. And in Paradise Valley, the fire insurance company insured like 80 to 90% of those homes there. So what happens when the insurance company gets a bunch of claims at the same time? They go out of business.
Yeah.
So then they had to deal with that.
Yep.
My insurance company's not going to pay out my claim. What the hell? So I'm going to sue the utility company for the money.
To make yourself whole again.
Right.
Yep.
So because of that, they started doing safety power shutdown, preventative disasters, I guess, right? So they just shut down.
Trying to be preemptive.
Yeah, they
try to avoid a problem.
They shut down the power. So where my house is, I live in County and Country, right? I just got the house up there. That's Southern California, Edison. So people in County and Country, Santa Clarita, Agua Dulce, Acton, up to Palmdale, that you're in a high fire risk area. So they will shut down the power. And so what that means is any community in that area will have the power shut down, and any community that would receive it down the hill from that power line is also going to lose power. So if you're in DWP, LA DWP, you're okay.
Right.
But there's other communities that you're at an SCE, your power is going to be shut down because there's the Santa Ana winds, and we don't want a fire. So this summer is going to be kind of interesting.
Right.
So then you have standby power. So either like John, where you have 2 generators.
I got 2 ways of, keeping things running here.
Or you have...
Got to get those reports done, dude.
Or you have solar and you have a battery.
Yeah. Storage.
So, but then you ask yourself, well, what does it cost? An average solar system battery on top of the solar system that may have already cost you $20,000 to $40,000, depending on your house. The battery system to take over your essential loads, which means your refrigerator, all of the lights in your house, your Wi-Fi, your TV, everything that's not your pool motor and your AC motor, so you have no air conditioning, that's essential loads, right? You can live without a pool and you can live without AC.
Oh, so it won't run your AC.
It won't run
because it's not essential.
It's not essential.
So why isn't Wi-Fi at the top of that essential list?
It is. Right, because that's all your outlets. So Wi-Fi is essential. And only because the Wi-Fi router doesn't take that much power. It's like plugging in a telephone, right? No big deal. Yeah. So that'll cost you $25,000.
Wow.
Now there are rebates and incentives.
Like your house would be an ideal place for that.
I have a battery at the house.
Yeah, that isn't working.
And I'll tell you why it doesn't work. So we have that option. And if you want to then do non-essential loads, like you want to be able to use like your wife wants a blow dryer during a power outage, that's a heavy motor, believe it or not. You want to run the toaster at the same time.
Right. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All that stuff.
The microwave.
It sucks up so much power. And then it's not the amount of electricity, it's the peak demand. It's that surge that the technology has to pump out. The grid is so good at handling that surge, because it's just constant feed. But when you have battery technology, the little mechanism has to work a lot harder to keep that surge going, right? So instead of a $25,000 system, you need a $45,000 system to maintain your lifestyle of never being inconvenienced about it.
Right. So how long
would it last?
How long will, let's say I got 10 panels on my house and I have a storage bank, just to give you an example of what to go off of. So how long in a power outage would that supply energy to my house? 1 day, 2 days,
if you do it correctly, if you design it correctly, if you work with a contractor that knows how to design it, you can essentially be off of your solar system battery bank forever. On an essentials load, right?
I see.
I mean, you can even do it on an AC, but you got to be like,
assuming it's sunny out.
Assuming even if it's not,
overcast still gets through.
Yeah. So when we design, you have to design for an overcast of a week. So that means you have to have enough batteries to last that long. And then when the sun finally comes out, the solar immediately starts charging those batteries.
And the other part of your design is knowing what the house needs.
And then knowing what the house needs.
Right.
And so people say, well, here's my bill, right?
$30 bucks.
This little graph doesn't tell me at what time of day John turns on his coffee machine and
7 a.m.
and how long they're going to run the treadmill for, or how long. It doesn't tell you any of that.
Right.
So you have to put in if you're really going to go off grid like that, you have to have a professional come in, put in meters on your grid, on your main panel, and monitor it for like 6 months, maybe 3 months, and know your habits and your
Right.
lifestyle. It's really extreme.
This interests me. Maybe I should get into this for a career because I really my attention to detail for stuff like this is really good.
I had a homeowner in Malibu.
This interests me.
In Malibu, and in Malibu to Pancake Canyon, they shut down the power frequently. They have the fires.
Maybe you could teach me how to be an inspector for solar.
Yeah, an auditor. Yeah, maybe, right?
Yeah.
And so he wanted to do that. This guy had all the money in the world, and
So now he's just bored.
now he's just bored. He's retired.
Damn, shame on him.
And
Feel so bad for him.
And so he had a company come, and I told him, listen, I don't have the time or the patience to do all of that stuff for you, because he was really, he wanted everything on a battery. I'm like, you don't need it. He's like, yeah, but I can pay for it.
But I want it.
Yeah.
Why? Because I can.
Because I can, right? And so that goes back to your question: who gets these battery systems? People that are really rich, and they just want the best things.
And they want to show it off to their friends.
And they want to show it off.
Because you can see it on your garage wall.
That's right. And you can see the 200. This guy was paying $250,000 for the system. Or you have the homeowners in Acton, Santa Clarita. Like my house is on a well pump, right?
Yeah.
Or groundwater.
Is it?
It's groundwater. Okay. So the battery system
outside of my scope, by the way.
Yeah, and so the battery system had the well pump sub panel on the battery system. But what I was there to do when you were there for that inspection was to see if they designed it correctly, because the surge peak of that motor of the well pump is at, I think it was, I don't know, it might have been like 5 kilowatts or whatever it was. And the battery can't surge to match it. So the battery will actually break when that motor runs off grid. Yeah. So if you design it right, and I've had a lot of customers up there, the battery backup will run your well pump, and that would be an essential load.
Sure.
Right? Because, okay,
right.
You don't have your AC, but you want to take a shower, you want to run your dishes, you want to clean stuff, you need water.
Right.
Yeah, so not all battery banks are made the same. If you're going to put in a battery system, do your homework, consult with people, with multiple contractors, call the manufacturer of that battery and confirm, will this run my pool pump, well pump, AC pump? My installer's telling me this. I've seen a lot of homeowners be sold battery systems that's, oh yeah, my whole house is supposed to be backed up. My entire house. It's a 2,000 square foot house, nothing crazy, but they only really backed up 4 breakers of the house.
Oh, that sucks.
Which is the refrigerator and just BS.
So once again, we're going back to, did we hire the right guy?
Did we hire the right person?
So let me ask you this: so whoever is selling you the battery, the wall backup system, was that my wording it correctly?
Yeah, battery backup system.
Battery backup system. So if I'm the homeowner and I'm thinking about putting this in my garage as part of my solar system, the person selling me the backup system itself needs to be qualified to actually design it properly.
Design it.
So designing it is the key word here.
Yes, you have to design it right.
Be designed properly.
You don't have to be an electrical engineer, but almost close to it, right? When you're doing that,
right.
They need to know, at the very minimum, they need to show you a certificate from the manufacturer that they're qualified to design it and sell it.
Listen to that, people. That's good advice right there.
A certificate.
So ask for the certificate, and if he has a drone license.
Yeah. So a lot of these sales guys are just sales guys.
Right.
They haven't taken the course. They don't know what they're looking at. So when they're pitching you, they may have knocked on your door. Mm-hmm. You accepted them in, and then a quote unquote closer comes in to have you sign the agreement at your kitchen table. But he's not the technician. He's not the installer. He's not the engineer. He's a salesperson. Right. Very rarely will a firm, especially with these bigger companies that people feel so confident about, these bigger companies don't have, I mean, I'm not going to go work for a big company, right? I have my own company. I know what I'm doing.
Good for you, man. Proud of you.
So why would I go do that? So the people that know what they're doing have their own firms. The people that are working for bigger corporations that are sales guys at your kitchen table or from Costco, they are generally not going to invest in taking the courses, getting the certificates.
Right.
They just sell whatever they're told to sell.
So it's a really good idea to, whoever you're talking to, make sure you know exactly what their capacity is.
Right.
You know, which hat are they wearing when they show up at your house? Oh, by the way, sir, do you install this? And I'll give you a little backstory. I went to have my van wrapped 2 years ago. And I saw this guy's work on someone else's van. That's why I chose him. It looked really good. So I go there and I said, you do this right here. You install it here. And he goes, yes. I'm like, okay, great. So I was just making sure everything was up and up, you know?
Right.
And I did notice he seemed a little anxious to get my credit card. So, but it wasn't that much money. So I wasn't tripping out over that.
Right. He wants to make a sale. He needs to make a living.
I get it. I get it. He's trying to run his business. I get it. So I agree to do it. We agree to do it. I design it. And then it comes time to actually have it put in. So I drop off the van right at the same place where I paid for it. Place I met the guy. I read it right at his storefront. I know that building went back and he had a back entrance. So I'm thinking, okay, he probably does it right here. I had no reason to believe he didn't.
Otherwise, yeah.
So I drop off my van. Day before I was supposed to drop off my van the first time, he cancels. He said his installer was sick from COVID because this is when COVID was going on.
Gotcha.
So I'm like, okay, I can sympathize with that. I know it's real. So I know what's going on. So I'm like, okay. So we postponed for a week later. I drop off my van again. Supposed to have it back the end of the day. It wasn't that big of a job. It's a small minivan, right?
Yeah.
So then he calls me and says, "Oh, it's not ready yet." I'm like, "Okay, you need another day." It was the weekend. I said, sure. Guys, I'm not in a rush.
Yeah.
Take your time.
Yeah.
I want it to look good. So I said, if you need 2 or 3 days, take it. I don't care. Okay, cool. 3 days go by. It's still not done. I said, where the fuck's the van? I said, where's my van? I'm coming there right now. And the guy freaked out. I drove right to the business. My van was nowhere to be found. He goes, "Oh, it's at my house." My van's at your house? Why is my van at your house? He had some knucklehead who he pulled from somewhere else installing my wrap in his driveway on a windy day.
Oh, God. Those wraps are supposed to be done in an enclosed building. No wind, no dust, no nothing.
Correct. So it was a disaster. I had to sue the guy. He broke my doorknob off my van, which was $1,800 to fix.
Jesus.
He destroyed my airbag diaphragm for the airbag.
How?
Pulling off the door panels.
Wow.
He screwed everything up. Sued him, won, no problem. I got paid back. Guy's a complete coward. He sent his mom to stand up for him in court. He didn't come himself. He sent his mother.
Wow.
Los Angeles's biggest coward right there. And I called him out on it too, dude. I said, "You are a fucking coward." The judge was like, where's the defendant?
Defendant, yeah.
Where's the defendant? I said, "Yeah, that's a good question, Judge." And I said, "I don't know who this is." And then some lady with her speaks up because she didn't speak any English at all. And she goes, "Oh, this is his mother because the business is in her name. She had to show up."
Oh, wow.
What a coward, dude. What a piece of shit. But anyway, I'm just saying, you have to ask questions.
You have to.
You have to know. And the big thing is you got to know what questions to ask. Yeah. And that is whoever you're talking to, make sure you know who they are.
So for homeowners that are thinking about putting solar in, I would say get at least 3 bids to begin with as a base foundation, because you'll smell the bullshit from one or the other, right? Mm-hmm. The next question is, how are you qualified? What is your experience personally? Are you a salesperson? If they're a salesperson, there's nothing bad about that. Just be honest. That's fine. I just know how to make the agreement and set up the protocol for it. So then, okay, who is your designer? What kind of firm do you have? Is it a big? Is it a big company? If it's a big company like Tesla, expect not to hear from anybody for a while because they're so big. That
Wow.
if you call in, it's the answering service. It's going to be
Wow.
If it's a local company in your area, call the office, follow up. Don't sign right away. Just call them, vet them out. Who's the owner? Who's the business owner? Check out their Yelp review. Reviews are huge.
Check out the contractor's license.
John, you would be surprised how many times people just don't even do Yelp reviews, Google reviews. Just check them out online.
Yeah, it's so easy.
Any legit company nowadays has a platform online,
Google,
where they open themselves up to the world and their customers. And if I do a shit job, then they're gonna review me 1 star. Right? That's like the BBB. The BBB isn't
right.
Who does the BBB anymore? It's Yelp or Google.
Right.
So check them out. If they have, maybe 3 reviews, doesn't necessarily mean they haven't been in business in a while, but they just don't actively promote it. Generally speaking, a business is going to have at least 20 reviews, right?
Right.
And then ask them, what am I paying? What's the financing? And what are the and just kind of go over the Truth of Lending Act with them, and compare your options. Just do your due diligence.
Yeah, that's a good word right there, if you can pronounce it.
Yeah.